every day since I got married. My husband Michael was calm and a bit shy. When we were dating, I sometimes wondered if he was a prude because he never kissed me like other couples did. Instead, he would occasionally hug me. I wished he were more romantic and expressive with his love, but it seemed like he was too embarrassed to show his feelings. When our wedding night finally came, I hoped Michael would be different. I thought maybe he would surprise me with passion and affection. I imagined him holding me tightly and kissing me deeply, making me feel desired and special. But to my disappointment, he didn't make a single move. I could feel the tension in the air. It made me nervous. After a while, I gathered all my courage and decided to take the first step. I leaned in and kissed him gently, hoping to spark something between us. But instead of kissing me back, Michael looked confused, as if he didn't know what to do. My heart sank when I realized I had to do everything myself. It felt strange and a little lonely. I started to wonder if he was simply a distant person, someone who struggled to express emotion. I loved him very much, but I longed for him to show more affection. With each passing day, I found myself craving not just love, but emotional connection, sharing joy, laughter, and intimacy. Yet it felt like I was reaching for something he wasn't ready to give. I hoped that, with time, he would open up and let me in. I dreamed of the day he'd look at me with love in his eyes and sweep me off my feet. For now, I decided to be patient and keep trying, believing that one day, my gentle and shy husband would find the courage to express his love more freely. Then an idea crossed my mind. What if we watched adult videos together? Maybe it would help him learn how to be more confident in bed and understand what I wanted from him. I was curious if it might show him how to be more affectionate. One evening, after a long day, I decided to put my plan into action. I felt bold and full of hope. As we lay in bed, I turned to him and said, "Michael, I think it might be fun if we watch some videos together. It could help both of us learn more about each other." I took out my phone and started playing an adult video. Michael looked a bit surprised, but he didn't say anything. He just watched. I could see how his body reacted to what he was seeing, and I felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. As we watched, I began to notice something new in him. He wasn't a bad lover. He just lacked experience and knowledge about intimacy. I realized he was learning right beside me, absorbing everything happening on the screen. I hoped this could be a turning point for us. As the video continued, I felt a spark of hope. Maybe this was exactly what we needed to bridge the gap between us. I wanted us to explore our intimacy together, discover new things, and communicate on a deeper level. I watched as Michael began to relax and slowly engage with what he saw. It was as if a light switched on in his mind. I thought maybe, just maybe, we could share this experience and grow closer, building a more passionate and loving relationship. After all, every couple deserves the chance to explore love and intimacy, and I was determined to help Michael find his way. That night between us felt different. The room was filled with anticipation. I sensed that he was finally ready to take action. Something had shifted in him after watching the video, like a switch had been flipped. For the first time, I felt a real spark of hope. As we lay together, I noticed Michael leaning in closer. His eyes were full of a newfound confidence. He took the initiative I had been longing for since the day we got married. When he kissed me, I felt a wave of warmth wash over me. His kisses became more passionate and tender, and I could tell he was trying to remember what he had seen in the video. It was a beautiful feeling, and I found myself responding in a way I never had before. Each kiss was gentle but filled with desire, making me feel wanted and cherished. When the moment came to be intimate, I noticed that Michael had learned how to be more attentive and gentle. It felt like we were finally connecting on a deeper level. I couldn't help but smile. It was as if we were discovering each other all over again. That night, I experienced a kind of fulfillment I had never known before. It was such a relief to realize that Michael was willing to learn and grow with me. I understood that we could explore our relationship together, and that filled me with joy. In those intimate moments, I knew we were building a stronger bond, and I couldn't wait to see how our love story would unfold. I hoped this was only the beginning of many beautiful nights ahead. One sunny day, I was in the kitchen making dinner for Michael and me. The warm scent of spices filled the air, making my mouth water as I chopped fresh vegetables and stirred the sauce. I was so focused on cooking that I didn't even hear him come into the room. It was the weekend, and it felt nice to have the whole house to ourselves. As I concentrated on getting everything just right, I suddenly felt a presence behind me. Before I could turn around, Michael wrapped his strong arms around my waist. His touch startled me, and I let out a soft gasp. "Surprise!" he whispered playfully in my ear. I could hear the smile in his voice, and my heart fluttered. I laughed, feeling a rush of joy from his unexpected affection. Moments like this reminded me how deeply I loved him. Leaning back against him, I enjoyed the warmth of his body holding me close. "Are you trying to steal my cooking secrets?" I teased, pretending to push him away playfully. But he only held me tighter. "Never," he said. "I just wanted to surprise you and see what you're up to." As we stood there, I could feel love and happiness radiating between us. I realized how precious it was to share these little moments, even in the midst of everyday routines. Cooking had always brought me joy, but Michael's presence made it even more special. When he hugged me, I felt inspired. I turned to look at him, and we shared a sweet smile. "Do you like what I'm making?" I asked with a little thrill, then turned back to the stove. That day, in the warmth of our kitchen, I felt truly lucky to have a husband who could brighten even the simplest moments. I couldn't wait to finish cooking and enjoy a lovely dinner together, full of laughter and love. After I finished cooking, Michael smiled at me and said there was a surprise waiting for me in the bedroom. A wave of happiness and curiosity washed over me. I wondered what he had in mind. Knowing that my husband wasn't usually very bold in the bedroom, I was intrigued. Once dinner was over, we sat together and chatted, enjoying each other's company. Then, in a tender and sweet moment, he gently kissed me. As I felt his lips on mine, I began to realize that maybe he had been learning from the videos I had shared with him. It was a small step, but it filled me with hope. After our sweet kiss, he took my hand and carefully led me to the bedroom. "I want you to close your eyes," he said softly, his voice filled with excitement. Trusting him, I did as he asked, trying to guess what he had planned. "Okay, open them," he said a moment later. When I did, I was surprised to see Michael standing there, clearly ready to explore new tender ways to connect. My heart began to race with anticipation. He undressed me slowly, making me feel desired. It was deeply intimate and thrilling in a way I hadn't expected. He gently turned me around, and before I had time to think, leaned in and kissed me. The kiss was soft and sweet, making my heart flutter with happiness. I felt the warmth of his love, and in that moment, everything else melted away. "Wow," I whispered with a smile. "You really do know how to surprise a girl." Michael's cheeks flushed slightly, and I realized I rarely saw this side of him. It was so refreshing. As we stood there, completely lost in each other, I knew that our relationship was more than just calm moments. It was full of surprises and love that made every day feel special. That simple kiss while I was cooking reminded me how lucky I was to have Michael by my side. I couldn't wait to see what other surprises he had in store for us as a couple. When he laid me down on the bed, I felt butterflies flutter in my stomach. For the first time, he started with a massage, his hands moving with care and love. It was heavenly. He took his time, making sure I felt relaxed and cherished. In that moment, everything changed. I saw a confidence in Michael I hadn't seen before. I realized we had finally connected in the way I had dreamed of since our wedding day. I felt special, valued, and I knew this was only the beginning of a beautiful new chapter in our relationship. He continued the gentle massage, and I felt all my worries melt away. After a while, he carefully turned me over, and I felt a rush of anticipation. My body longed to hold him the way I had always hoped to. To my surprise, Michael had transformed into a confident partner, as if the shy man I married had stepped aside for someone who knew exactly how to take the lead. Now he moved with purpose, and I could hardly believe the difference. As we enjoyed each other's presence, I felt our bond deepen. Every touch, every kiss sent shivers through me, and I realized how far we had come. My husband was learning fast, absorbing everything we explored together, and with each passing moment, we lost ourselves in the experience. Laughter and joy filled the air. I felt desired and deeply loved. It was amazing to see Michael embrace this new side of himself. This was more than just physical. It felt like we were dancing in perfect sync. After that beautiful moment, Michael gently laid on top of me, and we began to move together, our bodies completely in harmony. It felt like a dance that only we could understand. I had never felt such a connection with him before, and I could tell he was savoring every second just as much as I was. His hands tenderly explored my body, and I felt our love growing stronger with every touch. Weeks passed, and I started to notice some changes in my body. I felt a little different, more tired than usual. Soon, I realized I was pregnant. The news filled me with excitement, and when I shared it with Michael, his face lit up with joy. He held me tightly, whispering soft words of love and happiness. It was such a special moment for both of us. Even during my pregnancy, Michael continued to surprise me with his tenderness and affection. He tried to please me in every way he could, always attentive to my needs. It felt so comforting to have him by my side, caring for me and our growing baby. We shared countless beautiful moments together, from cuddling on the couch to laughing at the silly things our baby did during the ultrasound. After months of waiting and loving, I finally gave birth to our beautiful child. When I held our little one in my arms for the first time, I was overwhelmed with happiness and fulfillment. Michael stood beside me, glowing with pride and love. Looking at our baby, we were filled with joy and gratitude for the family we had created. Our marriage blossomed even more as we entered this new chapter of our lives. It felt like a beautiful journey we were meant to take together, and I knew that as long as Michael was by my side, our love would only grow stronger. If you like this story, don't forget to share it with others who love romantic and heartwarming tales. And if you'd like to see more, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a moment. Your support means the world to us. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.